Hi, my name is Gabby McCormick and I am running to be your senior class president. I have 5 major plans to take care of 5 big problems that have been brought to my attention, followed by a few administrative changes that I'd like to see next year. My first plan is to reinstate the Student Senate Cabinet. Now, right now, there's pretty much 2 levels of involvement in Student Senate. You have the President and Vice President, which is Lucy and Lucy, and then you have all the other Student Senate members. And people aren't really being held accountable for getting results in different areas of Student Senate because responsibility is being passed around and things aren't being done very effectively. Now, I plan to fix that by reinstating the cabinet, which means that there will be specific people designated in leadership roles to be held accountable for getting results in each specialty of Student Senate. The cabinet is also going to affect you positively this year when you're deciding which candidate to vote for. I think that the other candidates have put forth a lot of diverse, different plans to attack different issues next year. And I think that those issues are very valid and that you shouldn't have to choose one candidate with one of those issues. If you vote for me, all of those issues can be addressed because I will put people in leadership positions to get positive results in those issues. Secondly, I believe that every student has the right to have their voice heard. And right now, with Student Senate meetings only in the morning, that prohibits a lot of really great students from being able to voice their opinions and voice their concerns at Student Senate. To address that problem, I will be having not only the morning meetings for Student Senate, but also advisory meetings so that people who can't attend morning meetings, like student athletes sometimes, or people who take the bus to school, so that their voices can be heard. Third, and this is an issue that really should be a given, it shouldn't even be a problem, but the facilities here at City High, some of them are lacking. For example, the sinks, showers, handicap buttons, and hand dryers, a lot of them around the school need work. And that's why I promised to fix all of those. So facilities like sinks, handicap buttons, and hand dryers affect all of the students, but something that really affects student athletes is the showers. And when you have to come to school and do that hard morning practice and then go into the showers and maybe not be able to get all the shampoo out of your hair or have to wait 20 minutes to get a shower, that just ruins your morning. And student athletes' mornings are hard enough already. So let's fix the showers. Fourthly, another problem that has been a problem for far too long is overcrowding in the parking lots, specifically underclassmen parking in the upper lot. Right now, we like to say, upperclassmen only in the upper lot. Students who are underclassmen should be parking in those lower lots, but there are no real repercussions for students who are underclassmen parking in those upper lots. I have a plan that gives real repercussions to underclassmen parking in the upper lot, and it's done by giving other students silver cord hours. I'm sure you're all familiar with the attendance office, those volunteers in the attendance office who run around slips to different classes and they earn silver cord hours. Something similar will be done in the parking lots. A diverse group of student volunteers would go out into the parking lots every morning into the upper lot and give underclassmen who are parked there tickets. Now this benefits the upperclassmen who will finally get our parking spots, and this also benefits the student volunteers who earn silver cord hours. Fifthly, the idea that I'm most excited about is something called year-round student fun. Now to break that down, right now if you're in a club and you need funding, usually your sponsor goes to Student Senate at one time of the year and applies for funding. And if you don't get it, sorry, that's too bad. It's not in your hands, it's in your sponsor's hands. But I don't think that empowers the students, and I don't think that's a good way of doing things. It's led to a lot of inequality. For instance, I went to state mock trial and I also qualified for regional math. Now state mock trial was completely funded, I didn't have to pay a dime. But regional math, it's going to cost me and everybody else who's going $100 to go. And I feel that that could really inhibit participation from a lot of students who couldn't afford. Aside from those 5 plans, like I mentioned, there are some administrative changes that I'd like to see here at City High. Some of those changes include an open cafeteria, more vending machine options, and better options for coffee. All AP teachers being required to have AP study sessions outside of school. At least 3 should be the standard for any student who wants to come and prepare for the test. Let's be realistic, nobody really listens to announcements, or not as well as you should. I believe that announcements next year, because we'll have Chromebooks, should be on the Chromebooks in the form of an email. Maybe read to you too, but you should at least have them there in writing if you want to go back and read them later. Okay, 5 interesting facts about Gabby McCormick. Number 1, I attribute almost all of my accomplishments to God. I don't know if you've ever seen me before a test or a race, but I pray before every big trial in my life. And maybe if you see me do the sign of the cross and go in, that's me praying, me thanking God. I was almost kidnapped in a Barnes & Noble when I was younger by someone who the police thought was a sex offender. When I was 12 years old, I actually gave my dad's eulogy at his funeral in front of about 1,000 to 2,000 people. And the priest didn't want me to do it because anyone who was younger than like 16, when they got up on the stand and started bawling, but I didn't listen, and I gave the eulogy and ended up really changing a lot of lives and changing a lot of perspectives. It was massively produced, and it's what you will get if you Google my dad's name and his obituary. And I only share that because I know that public speaking is something that's very important to you guys when you're deciding who you want to give the speech at the graduating ceremony. And I want you to know that I have a lot of experience doing that. So one day I was on the beach and I was all alone and it was raining, and I look out and I see these 2 dolphins really, really close to shore. And I just got this feeling of like awe with nature, and it was stupid, but I just ran out to the ocean like to try to go meet these dolphins. And I get out there and I'm, a little in over my head, kind of like paddling, and the 2 dolphins come towards me, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what's gonna happen? And they end up circling me in like this whirlpool type thing, going around me, and it was just the most fascinating experience of my life. And I have this image in my head of the 2 of them, after they had swam around me in this circle, them jumping up in the air and then going under, and I never saw them again. And I like to think that maybe that was my dad or something. This spring break, when I was in Turks and Caicos, that celebrity Cameron Dallas kind of took an interest in me, and we ended up hanging out the whole day, pool hopping, pool to pool, hot tubbing, jumping off docks, eating chocolate covered strawberries and playing video games. And he ended up taking me out on a date and stuff. So Cameron Dallas is a cool guy, I guess. So the 3 biggest factors when looking for a leader, in my opinion, should be their listening ability, their problem-solving ability, and their style of leadership. So I'm involved in 6 clubs here at City High. Those are Model United Nations, The Review, our literary magazine, Student Senate, BPA, Business Professionals of America, Math Team, and Mock Trial. Now, I am president of Business Professionals of America and a co-president of Mock Trial and Math. And I'm also a varsity member of our cross-country and track teams. And so those clubs that I'm involved in leading have shown a lot of improvement. And if that improvement has anything to do with me, I think it has to do with my leadership style, which is one that values cumulative intelligence over individual intelligence. And so what that means is that I believe in every group that if you combine everyone's intelligences and if you let everyone have a voice, that combined intelligence is higher than any one member of the group's intelligence. But being involved and hearing about so many of your problems and so many of the ways that you think City High could be better, that doesn't really do much if I'm just hearing those problems. What I believe is my best quality, the quality that I pride myself most on, is my ability to listen. And I think that should be a big deciding factor for you when you go to vote for a president. You need someone who's not only going to hear your problems, but who is going to listen to your problems and really understand them, go into depth, and really see what the matter is. I believe that every problem has a solution, and that if anyone can find that solution, I can for you. So, I'm involved in 8 different activities. I hear your problems, I listen to your problems so that I can understand your problems and make solutions to those problems, and I will do this in a way that values the cumulative IQ of this group of City High over individual IQ, over my IQ. And that's how I lead. I encourage every member of the group to voice their opinion, to not be ashamed if they think that their idea is stupid or dumb or inadequate. I encourage everyone to voice that opinion. If you can't decide who to vote for because you're debating between one or two candidates, then I'm the candidate to vote for. I'm the candidate to go for, because I can give those other two candidates the leadership, the power to address the issues that you think are a priority that they have mentioned. City High, senior class of next year, I ask you with all of my heart, please vote for me. I want to make this school better. I want to fix your problems. I want to listen to you and make solutions to these things that are bothering you, because we all see different problems, and I think you should have the ability to tell me yours. City High, I have listened to your problems, I understand your problems, and I've made solutions that I've told you about. The only way to get those solutions in place, though, is to vote for me, City High Senior Class President, for next year. It's time to spice things up!